Okay, hello David, how are you and congratulations. This is your new Passat Alltrack. So I know we've had a day to get over a couple of things and go through some of the bits that you need. Apologise, we can't supply you with the tow bar now, but we will, and we have ordered one in your name, so when it does arrive you will get it. In the meantime, I'd like to just go through some of the aspects of this car that you'll receive when you pick it up tomorrow. Right, of course, first things first, comes with 2 keys. You'll receive those tomorrow. There's a on-road assist program inside the car. You've got the number and the details. It's in a catalogue or a book. That's the number you call in the event that something might happen. Remember, it comes with a 5-year warranty. And that 5-year roadside assist. Now, I know you drove one and you're probably familiar with what it does have, but if I can just remind you of a few things, that's my plan. Right, because these keys are a proximity key, I can lock this car and I can unlock this car from the outside just by putting my palms on there. The side mirrors will retract. Now I can go to the back of the car also, and I can unlock the car as long as the keys are on me. So as I unlock the car, here we go, we get direct access into the back of the car. One thing the seats do is as they do actually come forward just like this by just a clip of the handle. Oh, by the way, there's a nice gift in here from Tristram European, from us to you, and thanking you for purchasing a car from us today. Right, obviously a centre console in there for somebody who might be passaging in the back, hot and cold heat, and plenty of room throughout the car. I'll go into the fuel you'll be running. You'll be looking at 95 octane fuel. The car has got a full tank of gas, so that'll get you started and off your way and off you go. Right, from the boot of the car, being that it's a 4Motion and that we do want to get access into the boot of the car, once your tow bar's on down there, we'll have access to that too. Right, again, here's our opening part. A couple of features around that I'll tell you about now. Now let's say, for instance, the height of your garage is a little bit lower, or somewhere where you are actually going to open the boot up and you don't want it to go that high. I suggest you just pull it down to the direct height that you like. By holding this button, we'll hear a bleep. That bleep is indicating that that's the height it'll go from now on. So I'll get it up again, and off we go, and up, and it'll stop at that location. I'm going to put it back to its standard location now, and again I'm going to set it, and we'll hear the bleep. Right, going into the back of the car, you'll see here to release the rear seats, I can pull these triggers, and as I do that, you'll also just see just below that a first aid kit and a high-vis jacket, just in case you're out there by yourself and you want to be visible. It's got a caser on the back here, so they can actually retract in, and it's also got a net. Also, this net here connects to the top, and you can use that actually to barrier something in or out. So i.e. if you had a dog, you could actually have it in the boot here, quite secure and safe. Now, I've got a boot liner arriving here, and it'll be in the car before you arrive. Underneath here also is a spare wheel. Now, it's one of the only vehicles in the Volkswagen range that actually has a spare wheel that matches the outside, so it's a full alloy and the right tyre. Hopefully you won't need that, but in the event that you do, you've got it in there. Okay, the automatic on here is pretty simple. All I do is push automatic, and as I step away from the car, the boot will actually close automatically. I've got nothing to do with that. I'm away now, and I'm walking past the car. Passenger side, you've got electric seats on this side too. Now, as I said, roadside assist, approval for your corrosion warranty, your manual. Inside the glove box, you'll see there's an air intake into here. You can open and close that, keep things cool. Right, around the front, and let's get into the driver's seat. Let's have a look at what we've got inside there. Again, you mentioned to me that you're familiar with it. I'll just go through a couple of things that I like to talk about. On the right hand side down here in the front driver's side, You've got left and right mirrors, and you've got your heated mirror also. Another little tip is if you do put it in left hand and stick it into reverse, the left hand mirror will drop and we'll be looking at things like your side of the car and your wheels. You've got your on off for your windows, and you've got your access there for opening the boot. There's two settings on the seat here. That's for your comfort, that's for you to set up. You can do that in your own time. Lumbar support, back and forth, up and down. Okay, lights, I've currently got those on, so I'll turn those on to auto for you. Nice little storage facility in there, right, and then we'll get into the car. Now, for me to operate this car properly, I need to close the door, I need to turn the hazard lights off, and I just put the car into the start position. To start the car, my foot has to be on the brake. Relatively sensible thing to do. Don't want the car moving. Right, now you can hear the volume of the stereo. I can adjust that from the steering wheel. Now on my right hand side of the steering wheel, I've got what I call a library. There might be other terms for it, but for me it's simple. It's like English, and I use that so I can actually go through some of the other features inside the car, so I can get direct access to information that I require. Once I push OK, what ends up happening is, turn that volume down a little bit more, what ends up happening is I push OK, and then I can scroll up and down and look for different parts or different information I like. Now I like to leave the speed one on there. I've left it on there for you now. At a glance, when I'm travelling down the road or motorway, I do recommend that you look at a larger number and trying to figure out what speed you're travelling on the right hand side. It's a little bit more accurate, so I would call it that. On the left hand side, we're going to see where we have some of our lights that pop up, indicating that my seatbelt isn't on, obviously, in any engine situation or condition that I might find myself in, that the car's going to illustrate relatively quickly. Now the driver assist and the cruise control is set and reset here, increasing speed and lowering speed. I can turn it off and I can turn it on. You may already know, but there's pedal shifters on the left and on the right. This is a thoroughbred of a car, so it is designed so whilst in drive mode or sport mode, as soon as you hit one of these two pedals, it's going to downshift or upshift. So left hand side downshift, right hand side upshift. Right, we've got and then of course we've got our set and indicators on the left, and on the right hand side we've got our wipers. Okay, I'm not going to try and tell you things that you don't already know, but here are some other little tips inside here. Of course, our radio, and then we've got the swipe feature. So as I pull my hands across, it's got a detector in there and it's monitoring my movements. In this particular case, it's an FM. I want to change it to AM. One of the first things you might want to do when you arrive is set up your phone. By pushing phone, you're going to be looking for VW3833. This will be on your phone. You'll be able to log in straight away and then you're off. Alright, beyond that we've got our apps, so Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's a connection down here for that, and inside the gift box you'll find something that'll accommodate that whole. Going into the vehicle and the vehicle status, there are some changes you can make. You can pick up selections. This will change some information on the screen. Other than that, you've got your off-road mode, giving you a little bit of information around the terrain you're on, and then getting back to what we really want to see. So I can go into the lights from the settings inside there. I can change a few things if I like. Again, these are are going to be up to you to make those changes at any point in time. A mode button, right, so I will see on the top left hand corner we're in normal, and as I go into the my mode button here, I can change that and I can put it into sport mode by touching the screen, or I can just continue pushing the button and that'll change all the way through. While I'm doing that, it's also changing it up here, so you don't have to look left. Some cars you have to look left and it is a bit of a distraction, so I think this is pretty sporty and pretty good. Right, I'm going to go into menu. This is where you'll find everything at a glance, all the information that you might require. Something like sound, for instance, you've got your mid-ranges and all this sort of bass and trebles. I'm a sound guy, I like all that stuff, so I also like the idea of positioning the sound where I want to hear it. So if I'm having to travel with children, I might put it back to them and play something that they desire rather than what I like. It's something that's worth considering. Anyway, navigation is loaded into here too. None of that's set up, but once you get moving, it'll start moving with you. Remember, you've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so those might be your preference for information, so you can do that relatively simple. Right, okay, so beyond that we're going to go into radio media. Media is your Bluetooth sound, so for instance, if you've got Spotify, but again, if you're using your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, those will come up inside there too. Alright, phone, apps, app, menus there. What else can I have a look at that you might be interested in? Settings, all over settings. Again, language, screen, times, Wi-Fi. This is where you can make those changes. Alright, handbrake is set by pulling this up once the car's started, and I'll start the car now because I kind of like the idea of pushing auto hold. And when I've pushed auto hold, that means it'll hold me when I'm on an incline or a decline. And also what I do with auto hold, as soon as I turn the engine off, what will happen is it'll go into park mode automatically. One of the other and last things I'll go over to with you is this is all touch screen now, and of course if I want to increase the fan, it's relatively simple to do that, and I can just go through by just tapping away, and off I go. I can synchronize it, I can recycle it. I've got heated seats, so it's really hot, and then it's not, so that'll come in handy over the winter months. Alright, listen, I think that's all we need to go through today. You've got any questions you can ask me. Again, thanks very much for buying a car from Tristram European. Oh yes, and one last thing, you were fortunate enough to get one of the only cars left in the country with a sunroof. So as you can see, there is a screen and there is a roof. It's fantastic. I'm a sunroof guy, so it'll certainly, if you like that sort of thing, it'll come in handy and you'll enjoy it. Again, thanks very much, and thanks for buying a car from Tristram European. Bye.